Assalamualaikum and hi everyone! My name is Nordarina Patricia binti Zulkarnain.
My name is Nuruddina Farsha binti Azhar.
My name is Muhammad Adam Darwish Muhammad Shukri.
My name is Rukisna Bakis binti Zairi.
So, today we're going to explain or introduce about our assignment INC271.
Regarding our current report, which is the movie analysis, Jumanji The Next Level. Let's begin!
Next, I'll briefly introduce the movie that we chose, which is Jumanji The Next Level, released in 2019. This movie was directed by Chad Castons and combined several genres, including actions, adventure, comedy, and fantasy. So basically, the story starts when Spencer decides to enter the Jumanji game game because he missed the confidence he had inside the game. His friends then enter the game too to rescue him. But however, this time the game is broken, so everyone gets a different avatar, which makes the challenges even more difficult and unexpected. On top of that, Eddie and Willow, who are old friends with complicated relationships, are accidentally pulled into the game as well. Throughout this movie, the characters have to work together, overcome different obstacles, and complete the missions before they can safely return to the real world. Besides being entertaining, the movie also highlights important values such as friendship, teamwork, communications, and even self-confidence. Now, moving on to the relationship that we're analyzing. For our analyze, we choose the relationship between Eddie and Willow because they are actually past friends and long-time business partners. However, because of our misunderstandings and unresolved conflicts, they stopped talking to each other for about 15 years. When both of them accidentally enter the Jumanji game, they're forced to work together again. At first, we can clearly see that there's still a lot of tension between them because neither of them has fully let go of what happened in the past. As the story develops, they slowly begins to communicate more honestly, understand each other's perspective, and rebuild the trust that they lost. So this relationship is a good example of how poor communications can damage even a very close friendship, while open communications and forgiveness can help repair the relationship.
So now we're moving on to the analysis of communication. So the first one is non-verbal communication. So non-verbal communication refers to conveying messages without using words, such as through facial expression, body language, eye contact, and also tone of voice. So the first example in the movie is Spencer's emotional withdrawal at the very beginning of the movie. Spencer often avoid eye contact, speaks in low tone whenever he's with his friends. So this creates emotional distance and causes misunderstanding among the group. So the second example is Eddie's defensive behavior. In the movie, during group discussion in Jumanji World, Eddie often crosses his arm, show his angry facial expression whenever he's disagreeing with others. These nonverbal cues reflect his frustration, especially with Milo. So moving on, the next one is listening barriers. So listening barriers are obstacles that prevent people from listening carefully and understanding each other effectively. So one example that can be seen in the movie is premature judgment shown by Eddie. He often rejects other people's idea and opinion before really listening to them because he thinks that he always right. As a result, conflict arise and communication within the group become less effective. Another example is emotional distraction. Spencer keeps his worry and insecurities to himself instead of sharing with his friends. His emotional state prevents open communication, which actually leads to misunderstanding. In this movie also shows physical distraction during action scenes because of the characters surrounded by dangers, struggle with clear communication, and it actually affects the teamwork. Lastly, assumptions affect Eddie's relationship with Milo. Eddie's past conflict influenced his judgment, making it difficult for him to trust Milo in the future. These examples show that listening barriers can weaken communication, create misunderstanding, and affect relationship or friendship. Finally, let's discuss about emotional messages. Emotional messages are feelings that people express through their communication, and this emotion influence their behavior and relationship. The first example that can be seen in the movie is Spencer's insecurity. He feels that he is not confident enough in real world, so he chooses to distance himself from his friend and enter the Jumanji world. This causes his friends misunderstanding by his behavior and become concerned about him. Another example is the relationship between Eddie and Milo. Their unresolved emotions from the past conflict create a tension between them because Eddie struggles to express his true feeling. However, as the story progresses, they begin to communicate openly and rebuild their friendship. In addition, Milo's emotional vulnerability is shown his emotion and honesty because of his illness. Lastly, Martha, Bethany, and Fridge continuously support Spencer even during difficult situations. Their encouragement demonstrates healthy emotional communication and strengthen their friendship. Overall, the movie highlights to expressing openly your emotion and fix communication and also resolve conflicts.
Moving on to slide 8. Let's look at self-disclosure, which is the act of deliberately revealing significant private information about oneself to others. Let's look at this clip.
Not bad. I don't have much time left. And I count myself lucky, Eddie. I was married to a wonderful woman. I got to live a wonderful life. And not everybody can say that. That's why I wanted to make things better with you. And now that they are, well,
In this scene, we witness a massive emotional breakthrough from Milo. He chooses to drop his guard and share heartbreaking truth that he had been keeping to himself. He is terminally ill and does not have much time left. This major self-disclosure finally explains the why behind his sudden, urgent desire to reconnect with Eddie after years of silence. By choosing to be completely vulnerable in this high-stakes moment, Milo bypasses any superficial small talk. This raw, honest communication instant strips away Eddie's defensiveness and builds deep, authentic trust between them, proving that true relational healing can only begin when we dare to drop our armor. Moving on to slide 9, let's look at how Eddie and Milo reboot their relationship through repair attempt, which are action used to diffuse negativity during a conflict. We can trace their reconciliation through a gradual 4-step process. First, it begins with clarification by finally discussing why their restaurant closed 15 years ago. They clear up years of toxic, unspoken assumptions. This opened the door for an apology, where Milo takes full accountability for the pain he caused Eddie. This vulnerability successfully lowers Eddie's defensive walls because the apology is sincere. It's allowed Eddie to offer forgiveness. Eddie realized that holding onto his pride is less important than saving what little time they have left together. As a result, their relationship is repaired. This proves that relationships aren't fixes overnight. It requires a systematic efforts. In Jumanji The Next Level, we see a big change in how Eddie and Milo talk to each other through 4 key elements. At first, they struggle with turn-taking because Eddie keeps interrupting, but he eventually learns to pause and let Milo speak. This improvement leads to better cooperation where they stop arguing and start working together to combine their avatars' unique skill. Their bond grows through supportive communication when Milo comforts Eddie and reminds him on his words when Eddie feels vulnerable about growing old. Finally, they practice respectful responses by dropping their sarcastic remarks and choosing to respect each other's opinions and love wisdom.
Hi everyone, today I'm going to talk about social penetration theory, which was developed by Altman and Taylor back in 1973. To put it simply, this theory is all about how closeness develops into a relationship through self-disclosure. The more we peel back the layer and open up about our deeper thought, feeling and personal struggle, the closer we become to one another. Now, let's look at how this theory applied to Milo and Eddie in Jumanji. At first, things were really tense between them because of all grudges and misunderstanding. But the major turning point happened when Milo finally opened up and revealed that he is seriously ill. This is a perfect example of onion theory in real life. Because of this honesty, Eddie finally understands what Milo is going through, which allowed them to rebuild their trust and fix their friendship. So, how exactly did they repair their relationship? It came down to 4 communication skills. First, they used active listening, meaning they really paid attention to the emotion behind what was being said. Second, there was self-disclosure. Milo chose to be vulnerable and share a heavy personal truth. Third, they made a repair attempt, which are just efforts to drop the attitude, minimize the tension, and let go of the past issue. And finally, emotional support and empathy. Once the truth is finally out, they were there for each other. In conclusion, Jumanji The Next Level can show us that you cannot maintain or repair any relationship without a proper communication. The characters started off with major barriers like hiding their emotion and refusing to listen to each other. But once they choose to be honest, listen actively and support one another, they completely resolve their long-standing conflict. It just proves that open communication and true teamwork are what make a bond unbreakable. That's all from me. Thank you.
So, that's the end of our explanation.
We hope that you understand what we're trying to deliver. That's all from us.
Bye.